Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Monia Gates, I'm the artist behind Color My Dreams. Hi Sherry, hi Michelle, hi Ruthie, Bam, Kat. Hi Wendy. Hi Laura. Hi Abby. Hi Rain. Welcome, nice to see so many of you here. Oh, you're welcome Sherry. Okay, so today we're going to do the background. I'm just going to zoom in a bit. Hi Paula, welcome. Hi Mom. Okay, we're going to leave the hair for last, but first we're going to do the background. So I went with a tree, a forest, like a spooky night scene background, but it's really up to you. I'm just going to give you some guidelines, and it's really up to you to what you want to do. I've decided on blues to go with her fabric that she has on, and I just had some white light because we didn't do any strange lights on her face or on the apple. So because that's white, that's why I went for a neutral white that you would find at nighttime, and a bit of a snowy bluey color. Hi Lizzie, welcome. So first of all, when you do the background, you decide where you're going to put your trees. And as I said, it's just a guide, so you don't need to do it exactly the same like a paint by numbers. It's really up to you. Hi Heather, welcome. So first I'm starting by just drawing a line down. That will be my first tree. Then I'm going to add a smaller one, but leave a narrow gap for the light to shine through. And one little twig that's standing out there just for interest. Then decide, are you gonna do, I've done a like a basic squiff line. Oh, this is just one that I grabbed. This is Espresso PC 1099. I don't want to go with a dark. Hi, Dorothy. Welcome. So now I'm just doing the roots. Then I decided not to just have the trees in a lane, but it's up to you. You can put them all in a line if you want, or you can add a bush, however you feel like doing it. I've added some leaves, so I'm just doing a squiggle where my leaves will be of a bush. Then I've drawn a little hill with another tree there. And one next to it. But you can't see their roots, so they just stop on top of the hill. Can everybody hear me okay? Now I'm just going to draw in where the shadows will be. So the tree will cast a shadow on the ground. So roughly, I'm just adding a shadow. Now these two trees at the back will cast a shadow over the hill. But it will be curved because of the shape of the hill. I'm so glad you like it, Dorothy. So first we're going to start with grey. I'm starting with a 90% cool grey PC 1067. So now you, when doing a background, you always have to see we've highlighted this side of the apple, so the light will be coming from the right hand side. So your trees will be darker on your left hand side because the right hand side will have light casted onto it. Now all I'm doing is I'm using short strokes to create like a bark effect. Let me just zoom in a little bit more so that you guys can see better. So what I'm doing is they are close to each other on the dark side of the tree, and then you lessen them towards the light side of the tree. And the trees are dark at the bottom because this section will be completely in shadow. So now you'll see that I'm leaving where I'm going to put the leaves open. We'll do them just now. Happy Wednesday! Hello Nana, welcome. Now, because these trees are further back, I'm going to use a lighter grey on them, or a different grey, a cooler grey, or a more subdued color. So what I'm going to use is a 70% warm grey PC 1056. Oh, and remember, let me just take my 90% cool grey again. I forgot the top. The top is dark. Remember, our light source is coming from the bottom and from the right hand side. So I'm applying medium to hard pressure when doing the lines here at the top. And you'll see that the line that we added here by the babushka, it will really come and stand out now because we're darkening the top. Hi Anne, welcome. Okay, so let's move down to the bottom again. Next, I'm going to use my Peacock Blue PC 1027. And now we're just adding some blue in between the lines. You can just go randomly over them. We'll darken them again later. Just so that they have like a blue tinge to it because of the night scene that we're creating. And here I'm holding my pencil flat. She's watching you, Ruthie. Hi, Emily. Welcome. So nice to see you here. I'm going over my shadow. And these are the shadows that's casted onto the ground to give it some color. And then I'm just darkening on top of my hill slightly. Wendy, yes. She's definitely watching all of you. Next up, just to so that it's not a dull blue, I'm just warming it up with some brighter greener tinges. So Cobalt Turquoise is next, PC 105. And again, it's just strokes so that you keep the texture of bark. And also the green that's in this color will be complementary to the red in the apple. So it will form like a contrasting subtone, so the focus will be more on the red. Now I'm also just bringing in some of this turquoise in the bark here at the top, just as a tone, so that it's not a flat dark color at the top. Now I'm just going to add in some of the lights so that we don't lose them as we carry on. Next is Sky Blue Light PC 1086. So it's on the side that will catch the light. And in between your trees, there will also be light. Hi, Mary. Welcome. Nice to see you here. And you will see some of the lights on the tree. Now I'm going to just start adding some of the colors. This is really short, just squiggles, just at the top and texture of the leaves of the bush. And if you like to add some twigs that's coming from the bush leaves, then you can add them now so that you work around them and with them. So I'm just drawing them in. Hi Marilyn, welcome. Now here at the bottom of the babushka, because the light will be shining through the trees and it's a whitish tinge light, I'm adding a little highlight line because it will catch the light. And on the nail, now I'm back to my Cobalt Turquoise again, PC 105. Now I'm just adding some color to my leaves. And again, it's just squiggles, it's not proper leaves. It gives texture of leaves. Next is Indigo Blue PC 901. So now I'm adding a darker blue in between. So now you can see the texture of the bark better. Go in between your leaves. And really darken the bottom of the tree. Now, because our line is very prominent, you don't have just a fixed line, so you need to thin it out. So right at the bottom, I'm making the light line thinner. Then in the rounding, and then you'll see that there's almost nothing at the tip. Hi Jennifer, welcome. So nice to see you here. Next is 50% Cool Grey PC 1063. So now I'm just darkening my two back trees, the trees that's on the hill. And I'm also adding some grey because your front one will also always be darker and more visible. Then they will go lighter, 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 and because they're going further away. And that's how you create some depth. This shadow will also be lighter. We'll do the finishing with the darker pencils a little later. And again on your leaves, the in-between leaves. Next is Jade Green PC 1021. Now I'm just extending where I've put light on top of the hill, dark on top of the hill, and blending it into the lighter section at the top. Go lightly over the hill. Now before we go any further, we need to put in the rays that's coming through, that's shining through. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my Pale Sage PC 1089 and now I'm going straight over the trees. Go lightly first and then dark in the middle. And because there's a bush that's blocking some of the light, I'm only adding them to the top. Hi Nancy, welcome. So now I need to just add a little bit more leaves that will catch some of the light. And I'm also blending in my background color. A little, just to brighten it up a bit. And in between the trees. Okay, now I need to give some texture and definition to, this is the base. Now we just need to add colors and hi Nancy. Yes, I'm doing another tutorial straight after this one for the patrons. And welcome. Glad you could join us, Nancy. That is so true, Kat, and it's a wonderful tip on depth perception. And you are quite right. So now I'm just going to go in with Espresso again, PC 1099. Now, right on top of the hill, the shadow will be darker. So the bottom of this tree will be darker, even though it is lighter, and then the shadow will start right at the tree trunk and then blend out to lighter. Hi Ashley, welcome. Nice to see you here. Now I'm going to darken it some more with 90% Cool Grey PC 1067. Now I'm darkening the darkest areas only by layering more dark color on top. Now it's up to you what you do with the floor, but I created some texture here just for interest of the eye. Oh, thank you so much, Nana. So the texture that I've done here is almost like leafy, like small little leaves or something that's on the ground. So it will be just short strokes. Short strokes that I've added to the foreground. But don't make all just straight in a very straight line. It's in a general direction, so don't make them all the same size. And it's just in a general direction, not exactly like, don't take a ruler. And less towards the back because of the dust particles, as Kat says, then you won't be able to see it. Yes, I'm sure it will, Sherry. Paula, you like me. I can't draw straight lines even with a ruler either. Thank you so much, Kat. And I'm glad I could teach you some textures, Heather. That's great. So now, just over these dark lines, I'm going to go over with Jade Green PC 1021. Textures always create interest, and it's something that a lot of uh, people don't give enough attention to. It's really interesting once you do different textures on a page. So, except for the colors that you use, if once you start creating textures as well, then you'll see the effect will be amazing. Yes, Sherry, I did have art schooling. I've got my honors degree in fine art, but they never taught us with pencils. They teach you charcoal, basic color use in painting or in any. So I am applying it to pencils. Yeah, with grey pencil and charcoal, yes, but not in colored pencil. So I'm applying all my color knowledge and texture that I've learned. I'm applying to my pencil with colored pencils. Thank you so much, Sherry. Oh, that's wonderful, Jennifer. So next is gray green light. Now I'm really gonna highlight the highlights on the page. So PC 289. Ooh, I'm pressing too hard. I'm going over my rays, if you can call it that, and just holding it flat in between my leaves. Now I'm giving a little bit of definition to the roots. So putting a lighter tone on top of it, just so that you create that shadow in shadow effect. Next is Black PC 935. So I'm darkening the darks again with black this time, but try not to lose your strokes because you want that little bit of texture in the shadow area. And I'm going over my shadows. Now I'm just outlining my little branches that I've added, but at the bottom. So the light will be at the top and the shadow will be at the bottom. And as you create it at the bottom, when it comes down to a twig that like this, the shadow will be on your left hand side because your light is coming predominantly from the right. And as for this top one, I'm putting it at the bottom, the left hand side, and then to the bottom again. Now, next is white. So first I'm going over the rays with some white. Then in between my trees. And over my twigs. I'm highlighting the top of the hill with the white and give this tree trunk where the light falls onto it a little bit more definition. Hello Jonah, welcome. So, and on the top of the leaves you also need to add a little bit of white. Now to finish this, let this second tree stand out a little bit more. I'm going to use 50% Cool Grey PC 1063. But as I said, this is just a guide. You can play around with where you put your trees, the angles, the heels. It's really up to you. Bye, Nancy. Thank you so much for coming in and popping in. Sorry. Hi, Joanna. Welcome. Oh, that's wonderful, Paula. And that sounds wonderful, Joanna. A Narnia Christmas project. That sounds very interesting. Now with the second tree, I'm just lightening it slightly that on the dark side so that it can fade into the further back trees. Okay, now I'm just going to do the top. The top, I'm going to use 70% warm grey, PC 1056. Adding in some greys. And again, sky blue light, PC 1086. Adding in some light to the babushka. Accentuating this rim in between the darkness. Accentuating some tree bark. Yes, I did the highlight of the babushka of just before you get the dark background. Now I'm just going to add some lighter leaves in here just to create some interest. and all I'm doing is I'm just squiggling short strokes on the tree trunk. Next is black. Kate Bush. Next is black PC 935. So I'm just darkening the other side so that this tree can stand out a bit more. Apparently they call the headscarves, the Russian traditional headscarves, they call babushkas. Maybe because the grandmothers wear them. Okay, so now all that's left is we just are gonna do the hair and the eyebrows. Okay, so the eyebrows, I'm just gonna add my take my Espresso PC 1099. Let me just zoom in a bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just going over the eyebrow with dark lightly and very lightly just at the top. So you give the hair shadow in between all the fabric. Then I'm going to take light amber PC 941. I'm just giving it some lively color. And the light amber, I'm also just adding in some shadow of the babushka, because you need the hair to stand out in the shadow. And next is Beige Sienna PC 1080. So you basically need the skin to be covered underneath the brow, and the paper must not show. Otherwise you get little white spots in between the eyebrows, and that won't look natural. Next is Nectar PC 1092. So now I'm just giving it a little bit of a pink. Okay, now we can carry on with the hair, I think. Let me just check. I think maybe the shadow can be a little bit darker. Let's see. 90% French grey PC 1076. Hi, Kat. Welcome. So nice to see you here. Okay, so next I'm going to draw in the eyebrows. Hi, welcome again, Nancy. Nice to see you back. Hi, Didi. Welcome. Okay, next is 70% warm grey, PC 1056. So the eyebrows of this old lady is not nicely shaped, just like her nails. She needs some grooming. So they are going all over the place. So I'm squiggling or kinking them, and I'm making it darker here. Hi, Amazon Tammy, welcome. Okay, so next is Grey Green Light PC 289. So now I'm just adding the white grey hairs here and there. Let me just sharpen it a bit. It's a bit blunt. And the hair is pretty straightforward. Just kinking, making little strands because the grey hair is very coarse hair. They are very textured, so they don't form like locks or any strange thing. And this is up to you how far you take it down. You can take a gel pen if you want, or whatever you feel like using. I'm just using a pencil at the moment. Just give it a little bit more definition and more white in the color. Yes, Jane, I did the same. So now with the white, I'm just giving some highlight to it. Now, just to tone it down a little bit, uh, where's my, here we go, 70% French grey. Hi Kenny, welcome, no problem. There's another stream after this one for the patrons. Now with the grey, I'm just going in between the white, so you'll see a little bit more texture of the hair. So if you use your white, I'm just going lightly over the texture and the white, right at the top where we have the shadow that's falling onto the hair. Then in between, I'm adding some of this 70% French grey. And that's it. Oh no, it's not it. We forgot the eyelashes. She's got here and there, she's got some grey, and it's short stroke. She only have a little eyelashes left, not a lot. So there's little squiggles here. There we go. And then some highlights here at the bottom. She's I'm just enhancing her eyelid here. Giving some white here in the eye. And then in between these lashes, I'm just going, or the little stripes that I've made, I'm just taking black just in between, just a little bit, so that you can see that it's hair. But it's short. She doesn't have long eyelashes like you would do your other images. And then with the black, I'm just taking black lightly and just going and giving it some more brow shape in between all the light and the grey. And in the shadow, I'm just following the line of where the white hair is that I've done, just to accentuate it a bit. And that's it. Oh no, we forgot one spot. And this spot here, I've just made black so that she can stand out. And it's hard pressure, and I'm just covering it. Michelle, mist will normally be at the bottom, but then you will cover all your roots. So mist is something that I will definitely do soon, but it will you handle it differently. And thank you so much for all of you that's been here and popped in and chatted. We can do a giveaway, a page giveaway. Kenny, you shouldn't start it 3 times. You can fix it. You must just post it to or PM me and then I can help you. Hi, Anne. You can all choose a number between 1 and 100. You are also welcome. Okay, let's just. Bye, Ruthie. Have a good rest. Kenny, the patron one will be at 5 minutes in 40 minutes time. Is all the numbers in? Jennifer, tonight's is for the rhinos and the elephants. Is all the numbers in? And our lucky number is 96. So who's the lucky winner? Congratulations, Jennifer. You've won a free page. You can choose any page. It's your lucky night tonight. Oh, so sorry to hear that, Kenny. You can just PM me and tell me which page you would like, and then I'll send it to you. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I'll see the patrons a little later. And next week, due to a couple of questions, I will do the Puppet Master face, but with makeup on it. So it will be Halloween makeup. The face and the hand for next week. You are also welcome, and thank you all for being here. Bye bye and good night.